Hello my dear students, a very good morning to all of you. First of all, I would like to congratulate as well as welcome you all for being promoted to class 10. Now, it's a matter of pleasure that you guys have become the senior most guys of secondary school. Anyways, for being a senior one, now you need to soldier some big responsibilities towards your institution as well as the society. So apart from taking very good care of your studies, you need to be more disciplined and cooperative, especially towards your juniors. I wish a very good future for you. Now let me come to the next point. As you all are aware of the fact that due to complete lockdown in our country, offline classes, whether in school or college, are at bay. And that is why the government has directed to all educational institutions to provide online classes to their respective students so that they could prepare with their studies. And in this context, our Honorable Principal Ma'am, Dr. Mrs. Nasreen Nawab, has ordered us to provide online classes to all of you. Though we teachers are not a professional YouTuber or a professional online teacher, despite that, we are trying our level best to provide you everything whatever you require through online classes. Myself is Dr. Deepak Singh, a PGT Mathematics in Woodbine Modern School, as you all know, and I shall be teaching trigonometry, which is a complete new topic for you guys. So far as Unit 1 and 2 in algebra is concerned, that has been doing by two excellent teachers of your school, Mr. S.C. Misra and Mr. Vinay Kumar Chaudhary. Mr. S.C. Misra is doing with, I think, polynomials, and Mr. Vinay Kumar Chaudhary is providing materials on real numbers. If you wish, you may also join online classes with Imran sir, undoubtedly an excellent and dedicated teacher of our school. Well, before starting the topic, I just wish to share a few words with you guys. The first one, I must say that whatever you guys are being taught or whatever you want to study, just go through or acquire the basics of that particular topic, because without basic, nothing can be done. I have observed so many times that the students are engaged in doing problems only from several books, just taking the hint of that particular problem, and they are not at all skilled in doing problems unless or until you have a very good knowledge of basics. So just be careful of that and take care of taking the basic knowledge of the topic. The second thing I must say related to the books, just go on having only NCERT books. NCERT textbook and exemplar will do a lot for you. No other books are required for preparing or making you very good in mathematics up to 10th standard. So I must recommend these two books, NCERT textbook as well as its exemplar. Third thing, if you guys have any problem or any question related to the topic, whatever I am teaching over here, you may call me to my telephone number, whatever I have written on the board. I just repeat that number, 9934669323. Or you may WhatsApp to the same number, or if you want, you may just ask the question in the very comment section. But I must request you that do respect your teachers and strictly avoid using derogatory or filthy remarks in comment box, because I have been watching in some cases the guys or the students are using filthy comments against their teachers. So this is not fair. We give love and respect to all of you and expect the same from your side. Anyways, so let us start the new topic, trigonometry. Before starting, I just let you know where from this particular word trigonometry came. In fact, this is the combination of two words, you can say, trigonon and metron, which are the Latin words. Trigonon means triangle, I have written on the board, and metron means the measurement. So in this case, in this topic, that means in this branch of mathematics, we just measure a triangle. And that is why if someone asks you that how can you define trigonometry, you don't have to be panic. You have to say simply that trigonometry is the branch of mathematics which deals with the measurement of a triangle. And undoubtedly, a triangle contains 6 parts, 3 interior angles as well as 3 sides. So we shall be relating those angles with those sides. Apart from that, trigonometry has a very wide application in other branches also. It has got a very good relationship with other branches of mathematics like logarithm, calculus, complex numbers, geometry, etc. So trigonometry, what is trigonometry? Just go on doing. A branch of mathematics which deals with the measurement of a triangle. In fact, in 16th century AD, it was derived from the Latin word. I have written everything on the board. Now, let me say you that how did trigonometry come into existence? While tackling with the problems related to find the heights and distances of some objects, this particular branch came into existence. As it is said that in 5th century AD, Indian scholars developed this branch of mathematics, and later on Greek mathematicians, Indians, as well as the Arabians, all of them unitedly responsible for the development of this particular branch of mathematics. So whenever we talk about triangle, a lot of triangles come in our mind. Those are scalene triangle, isosceles triangle, equilateral triangle, as well as the right angle triangle. Here we are concerned about the right angle triangle only. So we shall be dealing with the right angle triangle and relate the sides of the right angle triangle for some particular interior angle, and just see what happens that. From 3 sides of a right angle triangle, we do have 6 ratios, and those 6 ratios have got certain names as sine of that or cosine of some angle or tangent of that angle, etc. One by one I am just going to deal all of them. So just take care and be alert. Now you are going through a very important topic of mathematics. So just watch on the board. In a right angle triangle, that means whenever we talk about right angle triangle, we do have a knowledge about one interior angle. What is that? An angle of denomination 90 degree. And that is formed when 2 lines, that means adjacent lines, are perpendicular to each other. So here we consider a right angle triangle. Say this is A, B and C. This is a right angle triangle. So far as this longest side of the right angle triangle is concerned, which is just opposite to the right angle, is termed as hypotenuse and denoted by H. And now 2 more sides are lying over there. They are named as perpendicular and base, but that depends upon the considered angle. What about the other, one of the other 2 angles you take into consideration. If you are taking A, then opposite to that angle A will be considered as perpendicular. If you are taking C, then opposite to that angle C would be taken as perpendicular. Here we are going to take the angle A and see what happens. For angle A, BC is perpendicular. Denoted by small b. AB, the adjacent one, is base, denoted by B. And AC, the largest or the longest side, is hypotenuse. That is denoted by H. This is for angle A. So, minded, the side opposite to the considered angle will be treated as perpendicular and may be denoted by P. The side adjacent to the considered angle and perpendicular to what is that BC over here, that will be considered as base, and the longest one is undoubtedly the hypotenuse. So far as considering the angle C is concerned, suppose you consider angle C. So if you consider angle C, then what will be perpendicular? The side opposite to the considered angle C. Means AB is perpendicular, BC is base, and the longest one undoubtedly AC is the hypotenuse. So first of all, keep it in your mind the symbols used for perpendicular, base and hypotenuse. After that, we are going to deal with finding the ratios of sides taking two at a time. How many ratios can we have for any considered angle? Suppose A angle is considered, we have got perpendicular P, B and H. Naturally, we shall have 6 ratios. The ratio of P and H, the ratio of H and P, conversely, the ratio of B and H, and conversely the ratio of H and P, as well as ratio of P and B, and conversely the ratio of B and P. So all these 6 ratios will be discussed today. So one by one we are going to discuss about all those 6 ratios. Let's take care of those ratios. So as in your family, if you are 4 or 5 brothers and sisters in total, suppose 3 sisters and 2 brothers are there in your family, naturally you all 5 have got 5 different names. Likewise here, all 6 ratios will bear different names. The names have been given like, you just watch. The ratio of P and H for angle A is considered as sine of the angle A. Sine of the angle A. And the ratio of B and H will be considered as the cosine of the angle A, and the ratio of P and B will be considered as the tangent of the angle A. And conversely, the ratio of H and P will be cosecant, ratio of H and B will be secant, and ratio of B and P will be cotangent. So one by one I am just dealing all these 6 ratios. So just as a formula you have to remember all these 6 ratios, because on the basis of these 6 ratios you will be able to tackle with the problems of your lesson. So let us start here. P by H is sine of the angle A. In short, it is written as sine A. B by H is cosine of angle A. It is written as cos of A in compact form. P by B is tangent of angle A, and that is written as tan of A in compact form. B by P cotangent of angle A. In short, we just write it cot of A. P H by B secant of angle A, and finally H by P is cosecant of angle A, that is cosec A. So all these 6 ratios have got 6 different names. You have to call them with their names only. So sin A will be treated as P divided by H. Cos A will be treated as the ratio of B and H, that is B divided by H. Tan A will be treated as P by B, that is perpendicular divided by base, and all others. So you have to remember these 6 ratios, because whatever I just told you earlier, that on the basis of these 6 ratios you will be doing with the problems very nicely, right? One thing you need to mind, that whenever we write sin A, you don't understand that sin is multiplied with A. This is not. Without any angle, the trigonometric ratio cannot be defined. So without A, sin has got, or cos has got, or tan has got no importance. So whenever we write the trigonometric ratios, which may be in short, you may be write like this also, T ratios. If someone asks you that what are these sin, cos, tan, etc., you have to say that they are T ratios, that is trigonometric ratios. The ratios of what? The ratios of the sides of a triangle taking 2 at a time, right? So they are T ratios. And sin A or cos A are not the product of sin and A as well as cos of and A, etc. So mind it, sin A is not equal to sin into A. So whenever we write the trigonometric ratios, an angle must be there. Since the Greek mathematicians have contributed a lot for the development of this branch, therefore Greek letters theta, alpha, beta, gamma, pi, psi, these Greek letters are frequently used for representing the angle. Anyways, so just take care of that one. The sin A is not equal to sin into A, as 25 is not equal to 2 into 5. You guys know better. Anyways, so this is all for the day. In the next class, we shall be dealing with some problems of lesson first related to this particular topic. Till then, you are being directed, you are being requested to remember all these ratios. So in the very next class, if I ask you that what is sin A, you have to immediately say sin A is equal to P upon H. What is tan A? That is P upon B, etc. Okay guys, till then, thank you very much. Do take care of yourself and your family members. Thank you.